Hey everyone, it's Ivan, keypadger.com, out here for another gun review, and today talking about this guy right here, which is the CZ P10-C. So how did I end up with this pistol? Kind of a funny story. I was going to go down to Thunder Ranch and I basically needed proof I wasn't a felon even though I hold a FFL. It really came down to this like liability thing with basically their insurance. And so they're like, hey, do you have like a recent 4473? And I'm like, yeah, I can go get one of those for you. Like, easy. And they'll do a NICS check. No, I'm not a felon. Perfect. I love those guys. Clint and Heidi are amazing. But I needed to do that, check the box. So I went to my local gun store, East County Guns, and I was like, well, what's an affordable pistol that doesn't suck that I wouldn't mind shooting? And I found this guy. Pretty crazy. Like MSRP is like $400. And for what you're getting, I think there's a lot of value there. Basically, this is like a turnkey like Glock 19, except it has a way better trigger and comes with better sights. But it is ultimately, at the end of the day, a striker-fired pistol, polymer frame, metal slide, all that stuff. I will say, honestly, having shot this thing a bunch, I actually really like this pistol. A number of things. One, grip angle, which if you love the weird grip angle of a Glock, this might not be for you, but I actually like the grip angle. They also did a really good job with respect to the with respect to the mag release, to where it is easy to access, but also, I don't know, a Glock always just feels like a 2x4, and then it's like another 2x4 sticking out right there. They did a really good job on that. They also, the texturing, it's not overly aggressive, but for me, it's nice. And again, especially when paired with respectively like whatever of the back straps you want. And also the texturing up here, which is also really nice. Just giving you kind of like that reference point as far as where you end up placing your thumb, or for that matter, where you can place your trigger finger. Serrations, front and rear serrations. I like them. Well, I like that they have front serrations. I'm actually spoiled now, having shot Walthers a bunch, like PDP series. I really like their giant serrations. These will work. I can imagine situations, I mean, they're relatively shallow, like Glock serrations. Fortunately, there's this angle here, so that right there definitely bites more than if this was just squared off and those were cut into it. Other things worth mentioning. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the trigger in this is definitely, in my experience, way nicer than a Glock. Largely the same. You have that blade safety there, so if you're trying to press it without depressing that, I mean, you definitely have travel, but no, like it, there's a fine wall, more pressure, a little bit more, push through it, reset. Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to just slam on Glocks. Maybe I am. I think Glocks are amazing, Glock perfection, and they're also the most supported with aftermarket, which if you want to get a Glock because it's your stock hot rod that then you get to put everything on, this is probably not that. While there is an aftermarket for the CZ P10, it is nothing compared to a Glock. I will say, as I understand it, these are actually really, like this metal for whatever is really difficult to machine. Like, it's hard on tools. There are places that will machine them if you want to go ahead and cut it for an optic. Although, as I said, MSRP on these is like $400. I think like $420 or something, probably through like Brownells. You can get one with an actual, basically with a footprint. So you can direct mount your optic. Are they direct mount or is there a plate? Honestly, I don't recall offhand. But overall, a lot of value in this thing. Which brings me to what has been my experience with it. Well, I've definitely carried it quite a bit, and I've carried it mainly with this light, which is the Holosun PID in this holster, strong side holster. This right here from Carey Concealment. I finally told him, hey, I do actually care what color holster I'm gonna get, because he gave me like a bright green one time, which, whatever, this one's cooler. It has done a good job for me. I've shot it a bunch. I want to say, I'm trying to remember, I might have shot this at a shooting course, maybe? It's hard to remember. Definitely shot at a shooting competition though. Actually shot this at the High Desert Brutality in 2023, I guess it was. It's pretty fun. I was shooting irons, so for my rifle, I was shooting the BRN 180 and 7.62x39 with peak iron sights from Scalarworks. Man, pretty much every engagement was like 200 to 500 yards. I had to earn it with that gun for sure, but it was a lot of fun. And then for my pistol, I was shooting this pistol right here. And yeah, it was fun. Like when I missed, which I absolutely missed, I want to say, I think I went Winchester also, trying to get that spinner over. Spinners are so hard. And yeah, that thing just ate my lunch. But it was not the fault of this pistol. It was the fault of all the rounds I sent not into the spinner. But yeah, this is actually a great little pistol, especially for the money. I have and continue to carry, as well as just do a bunch of shooting with this, and it's a great pistol. Magazine wise, you're getting, I think they have, if you live in somewhere that hates freedom, I think they have like 10 round magazines. Otherwise you have 15 round magazine that fits pretty much flush. And then they have kind of a weird looking extension for a +2, which will get you to 17 rounds. But largely spent most of my time with these 15 rounders. Who do I think this would be good for? Someone that just honestly wants a good, reliable turnkey pistol. You can buy a Glock if you want a Glock. And I keep bringing them up for no other reason than they're kind of a gold standard. It's like, oh, okay, cool, that'll work. And usually they will until you start doing stuff to them, and then they're less reliable than they originally were. But this, straight out of the box, you have metal 3-dot sight. Nice, way better than plastic Glock sights. And you also have a, honestly, in my opinion, a much better trigger than the Glock. And a pretty solid, affordable price. On top of that, pretty much whatever lights you can put on here. I will say, because this is not a Glock 19, you can find holsters for it, for sure. Just not the proliferation of holsters like you would find for a Glock 19, where like everyone makes one for it. But pretty much all of your reputable manufacturers, you will find a holster for the CZ P10-C. If you're in the market for a pistol, or maybe just looking to try a new pistol, I would check one of these out. One, pretty affordable, and two, I think there's just a lot of value built into these. A great turnkey pistol. It's one of those where oftentimes getting into shooting, hey, what should I get? You get whatever your friend has, because that's what they think you should get, because that's what they have. And maybe, or maybe it just doesn't work for you. And I will say there are definitely certain pistols that I shoot better than others, and some of it has to do with grip angle. Like, that's very real. Trigger also comes into play. Like, there's a bunch of factors. And so if nothing else, maybe if you see one at a range, like indoor range where you can actually rent and try guns, even though those things are probably worn out, yeah, give one a go. I honestly was pleasantly surprised with this, but if it's something you're interested in, check it out. There'll be links down below. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.